In this third part we continue introducing new tactical motifs of great importance. X-rays, overload and interposition. Come on.
X-ray.
An X-ray attack occurs when an attacking piece is defended by a piece that appears to be obstructed by another enemy piece. One piece creates a threat while being protected by another, but with another opponent's piece between both pieces. Apparently the piece is unprotected, because the defense line is blocked, but this is not the case. Let's look at two examples. How to perform an X-ray attack on the black queen. Can you see that the d1 rook and the white queen converge on the black queen? Exactly, knight on e6 with check, so the file is cleared to perform the X-ray attack on the black queen. Let's go with the second example. In this case, how can we take advantage of an X-ray attack to perform a checkmate? Can you see that the rook on d8 and the queen and bishop meet at a8? That is, he reigns to a8, forcing its recapture and making a deadly attack with the rook.
Overload.
A piece that performs a critical defensive task at multiple points in the position is vulnerable to a tactical combination. We say that a piece is overloaded when it handles more defensive tasks than it can handle, so that it is impossible to defend them all adequately. By attacking one of the pieces defended by the overloaded piece, if it responds, it will stop defending the rest of the pieces or squares it defended, which will be vulnerable to other attacks. Let's look at two examples of overload attacks. Which piece is overloaded and how can we take advantage of it? The f6 knight protects the entrance of the rook on e8 and the queen on h7. That is, re8, forcing the knight to capture him and leaving the way clear for checkmate with the queen on h7. It would also work the other way around, queen by h7 to allow the rook to checkmate on e8. Let's look at the second example. In this case, which piece is overloaded and how can we perform a double threat? The black queen is overloaded, protecting both the knight on e7 and the bishop on h8. Exactly, queen on h4 threatening the capture of the knight on e7 and the bishop on h8. The black queen cannot protect both pieces.
Interposition.
Interposition occurs when the line between a piece and its defense is interrupted by a piece of its own. This tactical reason is rare and therefore easy to overlook. It involves the blocking of a direction, rank or column, with the idea of reducing the range of action of an enemy piece. It is often done with a piece sacrifice. It is about carrying out a block, with one of our pieces to interrupt the defensive tasks of one or more enemy pieces, to weaken the protection of the pieces, to allow other types of combinations or threats. Let's look at two examples of interposition. What move breaks the defense between the black rook and queen, allowing a decisive advantage in the game? The knight can break the connection between the rook and the queen. Very good, knight to e4, breaking the link between the rook and the queen. If the queen captures the knight, we will checkmate the 8th rank. The best option for black is to capture the rook, and sacrifice the queen for it or abandon directly. Let's look at the second example. Again, what interposition play will give us a clear advantage in position? You see what move can break the connection between the rook and the queen. Very good, bishop to d7, breaking the connection between the rook and the queen. Taking advantage of the black king's fragile position, the game is won. If the bishop is captured, we will simply capture the queen. Enemy with our queen, taking advantage of the fact that the rook cannot capture our queen, leaving us with a good advantage.
In the next class, we will start with the most important block of the course. We will learn a methodology to search for tactics and positions. You will never be lost again, and you will have clear steps to know in which positions the basic tactic can be found, and if there is, how to apply it. And thanks for watching, like, subscribe, and don't be a cheater. We all hate cheaters.